Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so I didn't upload the video for War 8 because I only had like 3 fights in that war, and that was actually a very good timing to how easier time it works as well, because I have had well, quite a lot to deal with in my personal life. But all that being said, before we get any further, I want to remind you guys that we are currently doing a $250 giveaway, which is going to be distributed as 25 Summoner Sigils. If you already have one, don't worry, you can just use it to renew your existing one later on. But it is going to be basically distributed as $10 gift cards or equivalent value wherever you are pending in the world, basically. I will leave a link to the video description explaining the rules and everything else, but they are very straightforward, and hope you enter, because if these giveaways go well, we're going to keep on doing them, and I'm going to get more and more opportunities to give back to the community. That being said, War 8 is against XK9, and War 8 was a very tight and close war. Now, for my contribution, it was fairly humble, fairly modest. So I brought in Archangel, Dr. Doom, and Magneto, House of X. And luckily, also because I didn't have many fights, these were quite cheap wars for me loyalty-wise. So I only boost up here. I believe I'm going to use an Indestructible 3 boost for this fight, and I'm actually quite happy. Or, well, I think I will use an Indestructible 3 boost for this one. And I'm going to bring in Archangel, and I have done this fight before, and previously it went very well. This time around, though, I have a heavy attack with 1 bleed only. Second heavy attack with the bleed getting shrugged off. And all of a sudden, the fight isn't going how it used to. Kind of. Anyways. So here he triggers armor. Luckily, no unstoppable. And here we still have no poison active. Then he activates his overpower. And this fight is not going remotely as good as the previous one did. By this time, he was dead already. But it's okay. We just need to be patient. Don't lose our cool. So I chain my special one after my heavy attack, but that still doesn't activate the neurotoxin. Now, finally, at this point, I do get in a couple of neuros. Now, that did push him to level 2, but it's okay, because he had 3 neuros and he didn't trigger it unstoppable. And then in the end, I finish off. But I did have quite a rough start here. The previous time, the fight was much easier. And then the last bit, I had to deal with this Korg on Aspect of Evolution and Kinetic Transference. Now I have Dr. Doom for this fight. And, well, in all honesty, you know, it's hard to die with rank 4 Dr. Doom to this guy out here. Now I'm going to take some block damage. Might not go perfect, but Dr. Doom at rank 4 is just such a beast. Now I'm going to activate the invulnerability boost also for the next fight. I did actually make a mistake in this war. It's going to cost me a few K loyalty, because I did forget to heal up my Archangel before that Mojo fight. And that means I'm going to have to use a bigger potion in order to heal up my Archangel. But here, the base idea is just quite easy. Just put him in a Doom cycle, basically, and, you know, ignore the Kinetic Transference or an Aspect of Evolution. Just do the Dooms thing. Here, however, he kind of starts being very passive, but, you know, that's fine. And I just drop in quite a few hits. Well, he drops quite a few hits in my block. Now I'm activating level 3, and I know that he still had the rock stacks active, but it's fine, like really, you know, fine. He's not going to take damage from this level 3, but he's going to be passively stunned afterwards. So I'm going to be able to go for double medium and, you know, do the whole Doom cycle thing. And even if I don't do the damage with level 3 itself, here we can see that I'm clearly, you know, dealing more than enough damage. Now I'm again going for another level 3. Unfortunately, he again has the rock stacks active, but it's not the biggest deal. Again, it's more important just to kind of keep the rhythm, keep the momentum of the fight going. And after this level 3, I am going to have 2 Furies active, and, you know, he's gonna get it in the neck very quickly, very easily. I get back up to level 1. There, unfortunately, did not kind of siphon enough power, so I just end up going for a bunch more lights. But by the time I get my level 2, he only had like 5% health. So, you know, very straightforward fight. Not the quickest, not perfect, but again, Dr. Doom is just such a beefcake whenever I do get to use him. And now the final fight here against Mojo. Now this guy again has Kinetic Transference, and Mojo can always be dangerous. I need to keep that in mind. So here, let's jump in that fight. And this is the last fight for this war for me as well. And the plan is, again, just whatever Archangel does. Do whatever Archangel does. So I got my first neurotoxin active here. Wonderful. Unfortunately, I have 6 bleeds, but I did not get those poisons on here. Now I do have 3 neuros, so it is much better. I chain, again, my special one from my heavy attack. That's wonderful. Now I just need to wait for, well, him to activate level 2. Unfortunately, my neuros have fallen off meanwhile, but he's only at like 12% health, and he's about to get stunned again. So I just go in and gonna drop my level 1 that has fairly decent RNG, and he dies. So again, it's, Archangel fight. Sometimes RNG can kind of mess with you a little bit, but for most part, you can still, carry on playing, and eventually things that are meant to happen are going to happen. And we did win this war. It was a tight war. I think there was like 1 death difference, or maybe it was a tie and we won on time. But either way, so we did win this one. And next one is against TCN. And TCN is an alliance that we already matched in the second war of the season. So we already fought them, and it was a very, well, close war. And this time as well. This time it was a very, very close and stressful war. And in this one, I do have 4 fights. I actually use a couple of champions I haven't used before. And, well, haven't used in a while anyways this season. So I'm going to put on my medium set of boosts and my indestructible 3 boost. And first off, we're going up against this Weapon X. And I'm using my rank 4 Nimrod, so I feel fairly safe. I know that even if I'm going to make some mistakes, which, I do at times against Weapon X, then it's Nimrod. He's not going to take much damage from this guy. So at this point, I already have 10 of my charges. I have level 1 active, and I should have threw that level 1 before, but it's fine. I do it right now already. And now Energize doesn't really do anything in this matchup, unfortunately, because of the power struggle. He's on 23 charges, so I do have to be careful. Now I finally bet out at level 1. And the one thing that is kind of annoying in this matchup is that power drain. Because he's going to be losing power. Now then I went for a parry like a dum-dum, which was not the greatest idea. But here finally I push him past the bar of power. Now I did give him a couple of those furies, but it's not the biggest deal. I get rid of all of his regeneration buffs pretty much. And from this point forward, I can just pretty much lay into the guy, nullify all of his regens, and he's just being deadish. That's it. I don't even care if he gets a couple of furies at the end. It's obviously Nimrod just absolutely melting a mutant. That's all there is to it. And this fight I actually made significantly harder than I should have done for me. Well, maybe not harder, but slightly a bit dodgier. Anyway, so it's Strike Counter, Fury, Power Focus, 1 Brute Force. And obviously Falcon is pretty much a perfect option here, because he can completely ignore things rock stacks, he can completely ignore everything that has to do anything with Thing, basically. Here is the mistake I made. I was throwing the first combo, and I checked the hit counter, and in my eyes, it looked perfectly normal, so I thought Falcon's ability accuracy reduction also bypass the Strike Counter Fury, which it didn't, which I realized quite quickly, and then I had to figure out what I'm going to do. So here we can see that he's starting to gain those passive furies, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And he's at like 6 furies here, which is fine. And at some point here, I just realized that, oh, holy crap, he's gotten 10 furies, and I should have just thrown my level 1 instead of level 2. But then I figured out, fine, he's only at 37% here at this point. I have full kind of like set of all my hits. Here I just drop a heavy attack. Now at this point I can start putting lock on back on the Thing, which is sweet. Now as soon as I do, I know that I can just go and lay in the guy and drop my level 1, and everything's going to be fine. So I did kind of have a bit of a kerfuffle here, but realistically, it didn't have too much of a consequence. Maybe tiny bit of increased block damage. Still finished with 81%. Everything's fine. I only need the Falcon for this one fight, so I'm not too stressed about it. And I was also quite fortunate that I could do all of my fights like in one go. So I did my section 1 fights here. I'm moving on to section 2. And I decided to put on Liquid Courage Double Edge for the final 2 fights because I thought that it would work better. And also because I kind of just wanted to have Liquid Courage Double Edge on after the war because we're gonna have a day's break and stuff like that. But right now it is specifically to have it better matchup for this war. Now, one thing I did neglect to check was the fact that this guy is gonna be rank 4. This is a rank 4 overseer, and that actually would have affected my choice. Now, here is a cut in the video, and I am boosting up here. I already have boosted up, and I activated skill boosts, right? 150% skill power back boost and 12% special damage boost. Had I known it is a rank 4, I would have went with 200% power back boost. That's the only difference. Had I known it is a rank 4, I would have went with 200% power back boost. But the fight itself, fairly easy. Parry, heavy, trigger my frenzy, drop a combo, another parry, heavy, wonderful, let him hit in my block. And here I go for my level 2. I get back quite a lot of power, but just not enough to immediately drop my special attack. So I had to go in for another combo. But the fight is over very, very quickly. There's not much to worry about. It's 2 level 2s. But it would have been neater if I could just drop my level 2 and then another one. But still, very quick, very easy fight. Mallman absolutely destroyed that rank 4 overseer like nobody's business. And now the last fight. The last fight is Kitty Pryde. This is my first time again doing this side of the map since they changed the nodes. So I was just double checking, how they work and stuff like that. But everything's fine. Nothing to stress too much. And it's Nimrod. It's Nimrod against Kitty Pryde, and we kind of all know how it works out, especially because this time around I do have Liquid Courage Double Edge active. So the only thing I need to make sure is that I have 10 charges active when I use my special attack, which I do right now. And I'm not even going to bother trying to get more armor ups. And that one level 2 is just absolute overkill. And that's it. When it comes to Kitty Pryde, her HP is actually in the bottom 10 or bottom 15 champions in the game, health pool wise. So every time pretty much one Nimrod's level 2 absolutely nukes her. Let's just rewind that bit again. So she's here at what? 72%, yeah? 72%, very nice. Kitty Pryde, sweet. And less than 72. Man, I swear to God, as long as Nimrod exists, why do people bother putting mutants? It's one of those things, you need to put mutants only on fights where Nimrod absolutely cannot go. That's it. If Nimrod can be used for any mutant, then just mutants die in like one level 2. Anyways, this fight, this war actually was much more dramatic again than it had to be. Now, unfortunately, as much as I would love to say that New Nation is playing perfectly, we're not. Last several wars, we have definitely been dying much more than we used to before that. Especially the start of the season, we had like 2-3 death wars, and we're like, okay, we lost maybe, but we played very well. But last several wars, we have been dying more, and that is quite annoying and that is quite troublesome. And we would have 100% lost this war if not for one. That was what I got from my first Paragon Daily Crystal, by the way. Kind of sweet. We would have lost this war, but we won it on time. We won it on time, even though it says that we have 6 defensive kills. In reality, only 5 are counted, because opponent died 4 times to 1 defender. Opponent died 4 times to 1 defender, so actual score and the finish of this war was 5-5, and we won it on time, but as far as points are concerned. And the only reason we won it, the champion opponent died 4 times too, was Scorpion on node 13. So Scorpion did very well there. He definitely ruined somebody's day, so I would feel horrible for the person who had to fight Scorpion there and who got nuked by the guy, because obviously it's not only very expensive, but obviously you feel like you're kind of letting your alliance down. But from our perspective, from New Nation's side, Scorpion absolutely clutched this war for us on defense, getting 4 kills, of whom 3 were counted. And then we basically played 5-5 against TCN, which is again very, very close, very stressful war. And we won this. And because we won this, I think we are still possibly in the running for top 3, but we obviously have to play much better than we have been if we want to get there. Everything rides on the last 3 wars for the season for us. And, you know, worst case scenario, we're going to finish somewhere in Masters, but hopefully we can have a clean finish of the season and get somewhere in the top 3. But let's see if we can make that happen. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, don't forget the giveaway. Again, $250 giveaway. We're going to be giving away basically 25 summoner sigils, 25 different people. There are instructions how to enter. I will leave a full video explaining the giveaway in the description. And check it out, definitely. Why not, right? And that is it. And I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Right, the loyalty sheet. So this is the campo sheet that is also going to be available in the video description, just to show that my season stats. So last 2 wars have been very, very light on me. 7 fights in total. I did not die in any of them. So after a bit of a mess at the beginning of the season, again, this fight I wasn't meant to take, so my teammates don't want to count that. I still died against 4 Loki, but I haven't died since, so we're kind of recovering a bit, even though I only had like 1 very serious war here. When it comes to potions being used, I actually only used 1 level 4 potion in the last 2 wars, again, as a result of just not fighting too much. And then loyalty prices were 20,000 and 32,000, which brings my season total to 744,000 loyalty being used. And for a season like this, where I really haven't taken that many fights, that is a lot of loyalty that I have been using. But, you know, I will agree that I could have saved myself a bit of loyalty in terms of the boosts, because that is where pretty much half of my loyalty use is coming from. And the biggest expense clearly is here in War 3 against 4 Loki, where I got KO'd and I had to heal up a champion. That immediately threw up the cost to like 190,000. As far as the champions that I used, we can see that I think Archangel is still in the lead from all the champions used, because Archangel has 11 fights before this, and then he has another 2. And last word, Nimrod had. I will do the season total stats in the end, but Archangel is at the moment the most used champion, alongside Nimrod, I believe. But we'll do the exact count later on. But those are my season loyalty stats so far. So 750,000 loyalty used so far. So in the same progression, season's probably going to cost me about $1 million in loyalty. Now that's it for real. All right, see you guys.
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about